Welcome everyone to my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough. I'm your host DeoGenZ, and this is our rival Silver. Hold it! You're going to the Pokemon League Challenge now? That's not going to happen. My super well-trained Pokemon are going to pound you. DeoGenZ, I challenge you! That's right, he was absolutely correct on that. No, we're not going to the Elite Four again because that would be pointless. Unfortunately, in Crystal, they never made it so that the Elite Four could be upgraded at any point in time, which is a shame because you do have to rematch a whole new set of gym leaders, get a whole new set of 8 badges in the Kanto region, so if after that challenge was concluded, they got a boost in power and some new pokes to their team, that would be more impressive. But that aside, you can rematch your rival here every Monday and Wednesday, and I forget exactly when you'll be able to find him in Dragon's Den, but you'll be able to find him behind the shrine on certain days, which I will have annotated because off the top of my head I can't remember. I just know Mondays and Wednesdays here at the Elite Four, the Pokemon League, right before you enter, right before you cannot make any return, he comes and he pops out of nowhere like, hey, you can't go to the Elite Four, you gotta battle me. So, that's fine. This is the strongest his team will be. I don't believe it gains any new levels, so it's a good rematchable experience points dummy, if you want to think of it like that. A high-level trainer such as himself is really rare with fully evolved Pokemon. That will boost experience boldly. And if you're going for all 251 Pokemon, then you're going to want to battle this guy to train up and evolve some of them. I'm still pondering that concept. It would be interesting if I did that as a bonus video, but we'll have to see. This walkthrough overall has been getting lots of views, so I might just go ahead and do that, since this is my favorite game of all time. And favorite game of all time, speaking of which, this is my most favorite iteration of the rival. Even better than Blue and Gary, whatever his name was. He just really was a jerk, I thought. Very annoying and arrogant, but this guy, he irritated my brain to a different extent. He perplexed me in how he pilfered Pokemon so swiftly, and how I, even when I did get a Pokeball, couldn't steal back the Pokemon that he already wrongfully stole from the lab. We know this. We know he is the one. It was already confirmed by that police's eyewitness report. And then he goes and does it again with that Sneasel. Ah, sneaky, 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 Silver. But I do not know why we can't capture his Pokemon. Then they came out with Colosseum. And what happened there? A Snag'em machine. Yeah, if only I had that a generation before. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. But, yeah, his team is fully evolved here. Unfortunately, again, there's no 4th gen evolution, so Sneasel will never turn into a Weavile if you're going back in time to play this. But it is a strong Sneasel. His Magneton is maxed out. He's got both of his evolvable Pokemon fully evolvable, tradable evolutions. Yeah, every Pokemon he has had potential to evolve except Sneasel. But they are maxed out, being Gengar and Alakazam, so apparently he found somebody to trade, to trust with him, going back and forth. And the most impressive Pokemon that he has, I would say, is not Gengar, but is Crobat. Gengar is my favorite, yes, and I love to see its sprite again. Gives me great joy that Morty wasn't the last time I got to see this thing. I could rematch it again and again and again, and watch me trump it every time. Good experience, you know? But his Crobat is most impressive when you consider what he started out as. Just a mere runt of a trainer crook that breaks into laboratories and steals science experiments. Who knows? What if that Feraligatr, what if that Totodile that he had was just some kind of experimented on Pokemon, and it would have turned into a Gigagator, and maybe it wasn't stable yet, maybe it was still in the testing phases, and then it Hydra pumped him out, and smashed the Pokeball that it was in, and then a wild Gigagator, Feraligatr would be on the rampage. You never know. Oh, it gives me such laughter. Such chortles, as Fawful would say, to see them use Curse. What silly opponent AI. I do not know why they're so big on using Curse. I guess the AI says use supporting moves first to give the opponent a fighting chance, because if you just go out all offensively, most of the times you'll overwhelm your opponent. And we have played this game with Alakazam. You were a trouble at Blue's gym when I forgot to bring Umbreon, but now Umbreon is with me. So we will let you meet your destruction a lot sooner. Yeah, go ahead, put up all the barriers, reflections, light screens you want. You can't stop my shadow balls! It's good that he's such a high experienced trainer, because otherwise the only other way to get significant experience boosts before entering in this tough trainer battle that we will be facing the strongest trainer ever in Crystal. In order to level up more than we're already at, which I can already tell you is under-leveled, so in my case I'm going to have to bring along a lot of hyper potions, a lot of full heals perhaps, who knows. But I will have to bring some items along. I cannot go into this match, I know damn well, with just my under-leveled Pokemon. So the only other way is through the phone system. And this, he doesn't need to call you. He will automatically battle you every time you come here. So grand experience for us. Remember, attach that experience share. It works out really well for someone like Mr. Poof. And let's see how he deals with defeat this time. Darn, I still can't win. I have to think more about my Pokemon. Something about I won't lose again. Yeah, he may think that, but your team will trump him every time. So, now that we have rematched our rival, we need to go back to Pallet Town here, talk to Professor Oak, and show him that we are up to the challenge of Mount Silver. Only the most skilled trainers are allowed to go through there, and that's why they have security guards blocking it at the Indigo Plateau. It's at the gateway point, so we're going to have to be going the shortest way there, and that is backtracking to the Elite Four, just where we were at, and then going through the cave system that will quickly result in us getting to the dual choice gates. Of course, I could go through Viridian City, but I don't want to. Fly away! Yeah, this place has to be guarded because not only is the strongest trainer training in this region, but the most wild and voracious Pokemon can be found at Mount Silver. This is the only location in the game that you can find yourself a Larvitar, which can eventually, through lots and lots of experience boosted training, it's on the level of annoying training as is the Dratini into Dragonite, because it starts out as such a weak little form, but then through lots of leveling up, it evolves into a powerful Dragonite, or in the case of Larvitar, Tyranitar! One of my favorites of the second gen. So do get a look at the roster at the beginning of this video of what Pokemon can be found on this route, not only super strong and leveled, but also very rare types to find, very hard to find in any other area. This is a very exclusive zone for some Pokemon. But we will not be progressing through Mount Silver today. We are going to get to the Pokemon Center, heal up, so we will be saved in that region, and if you go to the right there, there will be someone who will give you an item. But I should say, we will not go verse the trainer today. I want to have a whole episode to verse him. But we will go to where he is. Now this is where the game gets really tricky. You need to have a spot for Flash, and that's really another reason I am just recording this and then going back and rewatching it, and I recommend you do the same. Count how many steps it takes to get to this area, how many turns you need to make. Because what's interesting about Mount Silver is it has a glow to it as you progress up in level. I don't know what the inexplicable glowstone could be described as, but the point is you only need Flash for this chamber. You only need it for this room on the Mount Silver map. See? It just got brighter. And we do not need Flash, because if you recall, you walk into another room, that usually means in a dark cave you have to restart Flash. It just has a glow to it in here. And I recommend people who have the time to go check around the waterfalls, not when you're going to verse the strongest trainer in the world, but do check around for the items. So backtrack, see how you could do it without Flash, and bring your strongest 6 team members, because in the next episode, we face Red.